Yo guys, and welcome to another video, and this is actually going to be my first video on the systems administration. And what we're going to do here is just set up our environment. This is going to be a long video because we're installing 3 virtual machines and connecting them to each other, and set up our environment so we can actually get onto the Active Directory and system administration. And to get that done, there's a few prerequisites, as you see in the file here. This is my markdown file, and as you go through it, you can tick these off. They say you've done it. So what you first need is your host machine, which is your main PC, like the one you're doing everything on. Which I have that. Preferably having at least 16 gig of RAM. I only have 16 to manage to make this work. I would like to have 64. For 32 being nicer, or 64 would be nicer, but 32 would be acceptable because we could give each machine 8 gig. However, I have to split up into 4, 2, and 2. So, and you also need some sort of hypervisor software or virtual machine software. I'm not sure how you would do this on Oracle's VirtualBox. I am going to be using VMware Workstation, and you will need the Windows 19 server. And to get that, I did a Windows 19 server. Just go on to this Microsoft site here. If you just search it, Windows 19 server, if you just search it, it will show up. I don't know why it was so slow. It will show up, and you click the first link. You download it from here. Choose your language, blah blah blah, standard stuff. And okay, then you will also need Windows 10 or 11 Pro ISO. It's just your standard ISO, okay. But it needs to be the Pro install. I will be using Windows 10 because it runs better on shittier hardware. So yeah. What you want to do first, obvious, this is where actually onto the actual installation. As you see, you take it, lines it off. Now we're going on to the actual installation, and to start that, we need to open our VMware Workstation or Oracle box. Okay, what I would probably do here is create your virtual machine first. Custom, we will start with the domain controller or the server. Okay, we are only going to, suppose, is there really a point in installing 2 systems? Yeah, might as well. I'll see how it. Then next, I don't want to install Windows. Then you go find your servers or 2019 server. Windows Server DC01. It's up to yourself what you want to name it, but I'm going to call it DC01 Domain Controller 1. Okay, next UEFI bit, 2 processor cores. Give the server as much RAM as you can spare. I can only spare 4 gig for the server. We also want to be in here and click used host only networking. You can use the NAT. We will be adjusting the manual IPs and all. And in a later video, we will go into DHCP and all. But for now, we just want to set up and talking to each other. Okay. Connect the guest operating system to a private virtual network on the host computer. Next, if you may see, create new disk. Give it 40 gig should be enough. Don't allocate space now. Split into multiple drives. Next, DC01 VDSK, and finish. And now we want to create a folder. System admin YouTube, and we'll just drag that in there, just so we have it all organized. Okay, and keep it nice and set up. So now we have the DC01 here. We want to edit this virtual machine, and we want to use an ISO image. wherever you have installed your VMs to, like the server that you downloaded in the video, go to here. I have just called server eval x64 FRE. That's what I've called it, just to make it easier for me. Okay, and now you can actually power the system on. Okay, wait, and press any key to boot from CD or DVD. I made a mistake. No, wait. Yep, I don't know why that didn't work. So power, restart guest, restart guest. That was a weird one. Okay, Windows setup, EMS enabled, loading files. Now just wait. Okay, as you see now we have this. Language install. I'm going to use the UK layout because my keyboard is UK layout. Is it not? Oh, United States, United Kingdom. Okay. It doesn't really matter where you're from and all. So install. Now setup is starting. Waiting not to do its thing. Okay, and now you can use the standard evaluation, which brings the command line only. However, we will be using the GUI because most people use the GUI in industry. So yeah, then we go next. Yes, next. Custom install. Yep, next. And now as that's installing, we will start to prep our next virtual machine, and that is going to be our client PC, and they will be using Windows 10. You can use whatever you want, but we are using Windows 10. Client 01. Yep. One processor. Two processors. That I am only given the 2 gig of RAM because I don't have a huge amount of RAM to spare. I had to downgrade to 16 gig in my system because one 8 gig stick failed, and the RAM prices is too expensive right now. So screw that. Next, LSI logic. Yep. Create new virtual disk. Yep. 40 gigs enough for this too. Claim 1 VMDK. Finish. And the exact same for the client machine. Using ISO image. Power on the machine. Okay, and click in here quickly so you get the boot. Okay, and now you go through the Windows installer. Now you get pretty much United Kingdom, yep, and install now. Okay, that's still doing its thing. Setup is starting. I don't have a product key because you're doing this, there's no point. Okay, when you get here, make sure you have Windows 10 Pro. You can use Windows 10 Pro N, but that removes a lot of telemetry, Microsoft telemetry, which is not good, but also good at the same time. On my own system, I use Windows 10 Pro N because I don't want the Microsoft telemetry. However, in the case of generally what people use, we would just use Windows 10 Pro. You can't use Home because they can't join domains and stuff. Like they can't join networks, so to speak. Well, there probably is a way, but I seem to have issues with that. So next, custom install. Yep. Now again, just wait. Go back to your our server is actually running. Oh. Okay, now we just wait, and you also wait on this one. Everything else is just wait a waiting game now. So I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to go on and create a client 02 as well. So I'm going to pause it, and when I'm back I will have the 2 Windows installs and the server installed. Perfect. So yeah, this does take a long time. So yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, I was just in the process of doing this, I forgot. However, now we actually have a new update. We need to enter the administrator password. However, I don't know a password to use, so I'm just going to go on the interweb. Random password gen. I don't actually know what Microsoft's allowance is, so we'll just do. I think you might need. You need about 8 characters. Yeah, you don't need to just have your own password. I'm just going to get one and write it down easily. Nice, blah, blah, blah. Oh, nice format web page. Blah blah blah. Guess passwords. God no. God no. God no. Can I just use like YT? Okay, I'm going to use my own. No, let's make it easier. Password 123 I think works. Or 123 full stop. Oh, full stop. PASWORD 123 full stop. Okay, password 123 works. Now we actually are at this stage here. We want to send a control alt delete so we don't mess up our own computer. Log into the administrator. Password 123. Okay, now we just wait, and now considering we are here, we want to install our guest edition CD. So install VMware Tools. Okay, just ignore the stuff shooting up. We can exit it for now. Okay, we can exit it for now. Okay, run setup to 64. This just makes things easier to copy and paste between and work between each other. How is our client doing? Still install. Getting device ready. Oh, I'm actually just going ahead. Preparing the install. Next. Typical install. Okay. See, at this stage, we are actually on phase 2. Boot server VM, boot client VM. I actually think I might just do one client for now, because it'll speed things up just a tad. And install hypervisor guest editions, which is what we're doing now. So, client. Okay, as you see, that is finished. We will need to restart it, but that's fine. We're just waiting on this to do its copy install. Do I want to do a second client or not? No, I'm not going to do a second client. Instead of doing a second client, I might actually just do creating a user and stuff. As usual, we have to wait, and we will get there eventually. I'm going to pause it again. I still think I want to install a second client, so I might just do that. Yeah, screw it, I'm doing it. Just easier. It's on my to do, so I'm doing it. So I'm going to pause it, and I'll be back with that done. Okay, so when you're on your client systems installing Windows, You will want to be connected to a network. However, I don't want to connect to a network. I will do that myself. But there is one problem. If you don't follow this, or if you give it a NAT network, it will share the network with your main PC. However, we want to contain that all to a network, so hence we use host only. And if you use the NAT, you will not get the option for I don't have a network, and there is CMD lines to do that. However, I don't want to do that, so just make sure that you use host only, and then you click I don't have internet and go through your shitty Microsoft telemetry saying no to everything they want you to install. Do not need to name your PC. I do actually. C01 client 01. We do not want a password because we are going to deal with that after. No. This send required only. No, this shitty crappy Microsoft shit. Just say no to everything, and do that for both VMs. Okay. No. This should actually boot me. I actually still take a minute, so I'm going again. Pause this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we are on client 1 now. Has this whole thing installed? Okay. What we want to do, as usual, go over there, client 1. Let's throw it in there first. Client 1, right click, and install VMware tools. Again, it just makes life a little bit nicer when you're dealing with full screen stuff. Like, it actually looks good. I'm going to log into this one here, so. Oh, I need to click on here. Would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Okay. I'm just gonna go stretch this. See, now it looks much nicer. And it will be actually a lot faster. So now we're going to client 1. We do the exact same. Okay. Open this. Yes. You do this for both client PCs, okay? Again, it is on our list of things to do. Then we're on to the network configuration stage, which we're getting there. Okay, prepare and install. Next. Also, don't do what I did before. I actually was trying to figure out what was wrong with my actual virtual machine. I did this the very first time I did this in my life. I was trying to figure out what was wrong, and I didn't realize I was editing the settings of my host PC. Like, I was editing the networking settings of my host system rather than the virtual machines, which is flipping hilarious when I look back on it. I don't know how I made that mistake. Oh yeah, restart. But I did. And client 2 is still installing Windows. So these things are installed. But while we're booting up, we can actually go on ahead onto the network configuration, because by the time we get this done, this should be ready. It should be very close to be ready anyway. Okay, we have our virtual machine here. Okay, this is our domain controller. Our client 1. Note, it's such a simple thing that I've noticed. I only noticed there now. I'm not sure if it's standard. When you try to highlight in the server, it doesn't show like a blue background like it does on this. But if you want to be sure of not being a tit, you can just change the wallpaper or something. I'll just do that one just so I can tell which one's the client glance rather than having to do anything. So without having to read up here, I can say, oh, okay, this is the client. You don't have to do this, it's just personal. Okay, what we're actually going to do now is actually go on to our network configuration. We can do that while this is still, the client 2 is still installing. Why am I not using highlight? I know why now, because it doesn't show. Okay. So, yep, it doesn't show up. Okay, it doesn't matter. So, we are on our domain controller. That is our server. Server. And you want to log in. And you want to open your network connections. There's multiple ways of doing this. However, I just like doing this one here. ncpa.cpl. That should open up your network configurations. You can figure it out, but that's just how I did. What you want to do then is actually right click this, go into your properties, okay? Go down to the Internet Protocol version 4. And we want to actually manually set our IP address. Use the following IP address. Use what you want, however, I am going to use, according to my write-up of this, this is IP I'm using. You can copy along or you can do your own system. Just make sure you know how to use networking and make sure you know how to do all that stuff. I'm 192.168. Oh, 168.10.10. Subnet mask should automatically change to 255.255.255.255. The default gateway, you can leave it. However, I'm going to change that to 127.0.0.1. And now, okay. We have now given it a IP address. Do not forget this IP address because you will need it for default gateway of your client machines. You can write it down, or you just go into the properties, go back in here and read it there. Okay. However, what you want, you don't have to do this, but it's best practice to restart your system every time you do something like that. Okay. Next, you just go on ahead and restart the system. I know we're probably going to run into an issue, and I will have a fix for it when it comes into it. Okay, as you waiting on the domain controller to relaunch, we'll go into client 01 or first client PC and do the exact same. ncpa.cpl. Okay, right click, properties, IP address. I'll use the following IP address. However, upon saying that, you cannot use the same IP address. Okay, so this just allow it 192.168.10.20, and that didn't work because my number 192.168.10.20. Subnet mask again 255.255.255.255. Leave your default gateway. Preferred DNS server. This is where your main piece, the domain controller, comes into it. You need to use the domain controller's IP. I have it written down here on a piece of paper so I don't forget, and it's 192.168.10.10. That is correct, isn't it? Yes, this is critical. Now, if you click OK and OK, these two should be able to talk now. However, let's just restart the system first, okay? And see how client 2 is getting on. Okay, we're on the Windows setup. Yes. United Kingdom. You know Maryland, but United Kingdom's fine. I don't have a network. Continue with limited setup. I do not want your Microsoft shit. C02. These will be the client. These will change, so don't pay attention to it. Okay, just don't worry about it. Nope. Send required diagnostics only. No. I hate Microsoft sometimes so much. Well, I don't like Microsoft, but they have a market share, so kind of need to work with what they're doing. Okay, so as that's going to set up now, we have rebooted our systems. We need to log on to the domain controller. Send control alt delete. Password 123. Okay, that did not work because it didn't click in there. Oh. Okay, so now we are actually on the system, and these two, the client should be able to talk to the domain controller. So we will run that. We'll run a command prompt, and we'll run a ping. I have a strong feeling this isn't going to work. 2.168.10.10. Pinging. As you see, we are going to timeout, and that's fine. We will fix that. How do you stop this? It is just let it run through. I thought Control C was how you stop it, but apparently not. Okay, now let's just see if the domain can talk to the other PC. Ping 192.168. Oh, 68.10.20. That was it, wasn't it? 92.168.10.20. Yeah. Okay. Request timed out. Okay. Sometimes these work fine. However, I can tell you one thing. This isn't working. So, because we need to allow Echo IMCP on the firewall for our ping request to succeed, and we'll do that by going onto our Windows firewall.msc. Okay. Inbound rules. Okay, and scroll down until you find. Is it file sharing or something? Yeah, file sharing and printer sharing. Echo IPv3. So we need to enable this rule. Right click, enable rule. Right click, enable rule, because this is for the IPv in. And what's the difference? Okay, whatever. Just enable them all. Oh yeah, private and domain. Okay. Now we want to restart this PC, and we want to do the exact same to the domain controller. Windows firewall.msc. Exact same. Not my virus. File sharing. Right. Literally center. Right click, enable rule. Right click, enable rule. Okay. You want to reboot the system. Restart. Not reboot. Shutdown. You have to restart. And that's up and running now. And our Windows here is running now as well. So what we want to do is actually install VMware tools as we did before. I'm telling you, this is going to be a long video. But we're almost there. PC. It's really glitchy and really slow. Because we haven't got the things on, and we're only running with 2 gig of RAM. Keep that in mind. Okay. Next, typical install, and let that do its thing. Again, I will supply the file, the copy, the write up of this. Okay, so don't worry about it too much. Okay, get the full screen as well because I want it. It looks better, and I don't have to walk away 10 square. Makes life sucky sometimes. Okay, finish. Restart. Okay, while that's restarting, let's go back here. Make sure our things are running. Domain controller, Control-Alt-Delete. Okay, click in here. Password 123. Full stop. Okay. Now we want to run to our CMD and let that launch itself. Now we want to try ping our client 168.10.20. That should work now. As you see, we are working now. Packet sent, 0% loss. Now, because the domain can talk to the client, in theory, that means the client should be able to talk to the domain, assuming you did everything right. Ping 192.168.10.10. No bother at all. Success. Very nice. That is a really good sign. And yeah, we will go on to our client 02 now and pretty much do the same. There is ways of scripting the computer to do this for you, and I will touch on those in another video, but right now it's just get the network set up and get one user or two user accounts and log in and talk to each other. So I have it written down here. 192.168.10.10 is server. 192.168.10.20 is PC1 or client. 192.168.10.21 is going to be PC2. So what you want to do, we're on client 2. Yep. Again, I'm just going to change the settings just so I know a glimpse that this is client PCs, and it stopped me making that same mistake I've done before by actually editing my own PC settings, which seems dumb now, but things happen. Deal with it. Okay, so again, you want to go into ncpa.cpl. Okay. Properties, and then protocol version, and 192. Oh crap. We want to use 192.168.10.21. Okay. Subnet mask, default gateway, everything's the same. And as usual, preferred DNS. You want to use the IP address of the server. And okay. Now we know the firewall is going to mess up, so wf.msc. We will go change them settings now. Inbound rules. File partition. Enable rule. Enable rule. Enable rule. Enable rule. Blah 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 blah. X that. And now we restart the PC. Okay. Let's just go back over to your actual file here. Now we have done this. Crap. Done this. Client PCs, we've done that in all of them. We just need to test the connectivity on the second one. However, I am pretty confident it'll work. So, CMD. We will try ping the main PC, the server. No issues whatsoever. And just for good measure, 192.168.10.20, we will ping the other PC. Perfect. This means they're on pretty much the same network and they are talking to each other. At this point, you can get internet up and running, which I will do in a future video. But again, like I said, the scope of this video is just setting up the system and like setting up the things and user accounts. Okay, so what we want to do now actually is going to be the Active Directory setup. Okay, so as we're in server dashboard, okay, what we want to do now is add roles and features. What's this say? Skip as paid by default to remove role based feature. Yep. Okay. Active Direct. We want, and then when we get here, we want to do the Active Directory domain services. Add features. Next. There's a lot more you can do, but we will proceed through all this stuff. Okay. Next. Install. Now just wait. This could take a few minutes, so I'm going to pause the PC, pause the recording, because it could take a while, but it might not at the same time. So actually, while I'm at that, I'm actually going to change my PC's name, domain controller's name, because I don't actually want to use this domain control. Obviously, you wouldn't actually do it like this. You're probably just better. When I worked at the hospital, we just used the same restart litter. Same thing. Okay, you can close this weather for one from task, review as tasks, explore configurations, feature installation, view feature configuration required, installation succeeded on, yep, close. Now we want to again restart the PC. Always restart the main PC. And we will go on to our next step. We're still working with the server, so bear with us. Right click, send, control alt delete, password. Full stop. Okay. We are still recording, aren't we? Dang, 36 minutes. Actually, a lot faster than I thought, to be honest with you. I thought it was going to take at least an hour and a half. Okay, as we see now, we have this. Why is this not showing up right now? Okay, yeah, we're right. We just give it a second to show up. Now, when you restart your PC, you will now notice the flag up here having this. We want to click that. Promote this server to a domain controller. Okay, now we are actually setting up our Active Directory. We will call we click add new forest, root direct domain name. We're just going to do corp.local. No, we'll use what I have down here, workshop.lab. Yeah. Next. Okay, we're going to be asked for another password. I'm just going to use, I think I can use the same password. I did not mean to do that. Deployment, workshop.lab, add new forest. Read only domain controller, no. Enter directory services, restore password, password 123. I think I can use this. I am not actually sure. Password 123, password 123. Yeah. Ignore this. Ignore everything. Ignore all this and install. For now, we just ignore it, okay? And we will, as usual, NetBIOS name. Yep, that sounds good. Next. Yep, next. Next. Obviously, if you're actually doing system administration, you will have this all written up and how to do it. Not how to do it, like what way places everything goes and stuff. So, prerequisites. If you click install, automatically reboots. Yes. What is server to the default security set name? Like blah, blah, blah. Just ignore all this for now because honestly, we are not at the stage we need to worry about that kind of stuff. Okay. And as usual, we just wait on the install. So I'm just going to pause this until it's done, okay? Okay, this will show up and just your computer being reset because I did the install remove, just let it do its thing. Close this and I'll restart. Now, we are now restarting this, okay? Now, we have the Active Directory domain setup. What we want to do now is actually join these PCs, or the client PCs, to the Active Directory. We'll wait until this launches up first, okay? And we're on our second last step, phase, or steps, whatever you want to call it. There's 6, and this is join the domain, and next one is verification. Make sure you're right, and make sure everything works. Applying computer settings, as usual, just let it do its thing. Actually, what I'm going to actually do now, before I even do that, is actually create a snapshot of all these PCs. Take snapshot pre-domain. Snapshot pre-domain. This is 192.168.10.21. It's just so I know the IP address. I probably should have that with our one, but I didn't. So now we can always double back if something went wrong. We probably should have did that with the domain controller before installing Active Directory. That was a mistake that I made, and I shouldn't have made that mistake. It's a very basic thing to make a mistake on. But as usual, I'm going to pause this because this could take a while, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, that took a bit longer than I thought it would have took, but it's okay. It's done. Things take a while. Send Control Alt Delete. See, now we have workshop/administrator, which is good. Exactly what we want to see. So now we have this set up. We have an Active Directory set up. We have everything set up. Slight problem. We have no PCs on the server. So what we need to do now is join our client PCs onto the server, and to do that you log onto your first PC and you go to your about your PC. Okay, why did I have DSA sa.msc written down? That's weird. Whatever, not important. Either way, well, you want to go into here, and we want to click on our advanced system settings. We're just going to pretty much rename our PC. It's just another way of doing it, and I thought it was good to know multiple ways of doing one thing. That change the computer name. Go to the computer name. Change the computer name. Crap. Advanced system settings. Computer name. 01. Okay. Apply. Okay. So identifiable and under member of. Now where the hell is this? Yep. You go in here to rename this computer or change domain for the workgroup. We do it here as well. I just had a blackout there now. I didn't know what I was doing. So workgroup, domain, workgroup. Okay, member of. We go in here and we type the workgroup, workshop. I think we call it, isn't it? Workshop. I think we called it. Dot lab. I probably should have written this one down, but I didn't because I am a twat. Okay, click OK. You should be prompted to enter the administrator password. as you see, ADMINISTOR, password 123, full stop. And when you see that, it means you did a good thing. Welcome to the Workshop Lab domain. It means you're on the domain. Congratulations, you're a slave to the corporate machine. Well, you know what I mean. I'm trying to be funny. And probably not being the funniest. And then you will need to restart the PC. Whoa, specific domain does not exist. Workshop dot. That's not right. That's not right. That is not right. Now where the hell am I finding this at now? That should not have caused any issues. What? Oh, okay. I made a mistake. I just made a mistake. I tried to change it again. Okay, that's fine. Just want to make sure this is right. Yeah, that was my bad. I was like, what? And you restart the PC. And go do it to client 2. How boring. About the PC. Advanced system settings. Computer name. Nope. Yeah, just go in here. Client 02. Domain. Workshop.lab. You should now be asked to enter the email and password or the administrator password. So ADMINISTOR. I know that's not right. 1, 2, 3, full stop. I did not realize upon this. Okay. Now wait. Welcome to the lab domain. Okay. I don't know why it keeps doing that. That's strange. Restart now. Basically, you're pretty much done. However, we aren't done yet. We have to verify our actual things is working. As you see, computer 01. There's no password, so same with this one. C02. There's no password. Don't worry about it. Just double check who you are by PC. Yeah, as you see, default device name client01.workshop.lab. Okay. What we actually need to do here is actually log into this and do active. No. We're just going to have to restart because. Wait, no. See, I am running on my own PC. See what I mean? I was using my own PC there for a second. Good, didn't click it. Okay, that's server manager. That's what we're in, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I probably should have went down to the bottom right if I would have been fine. Oh, I need to stretch. Right. So we are now here, and now we are on this. Okay, I remember what DSA was now. DSA.msc. I have no idea. Wrong one. I used my main PC again. DSA. I was wondering, like, hold on. DSA. Directory Services. I was like, what? Okay. We are now in here. What we want to do is make sure the PCs are connected. Computers. Client 1, client 2. That is good. Happy days. They are connected. However, we want to create users. We can use all these. We can right click, new user. We'll just call this one Lewis. Workshop lab. Lewis. Okay, next password. Just do the standard password. 123 full stop. Password 123 full stop. User must change password next login. Okay, finish. We can do it like that, or we could actually click this little character up here. We can create a new group in here. Just to test at workshop.lab. Password 123 full stop. Password 123 full stop. Next, finish. What you want to do now is actually out there for switch user. Okay, because this is apparently what they do in the industry. They don't even bother out. We go down here, other user. Lewis at workshop.local. Password 123 full stop. Okay, it's not reading me. Okay, let's go back and see where that mistake was. Lewis. Properties. Member of workshop.lab. Okay, that's my bad. Workshop.lab. Password 123 full stop. User must change password. And now we do password 321 full stop. I hope I changed password 321 full stop. Password has now been changed. Welcome to the server, Lewis. We will do the test. As I'm setting this all for you, we'll do the test one here. No. We want to do this. We'll sign out this one. And this is all user test at workshop.lab. And if I get for a second, like, hold on here. Password 123. Password must change. Password 321 full stop. Password 321 full stop. Basically, little Lewis here now has his own machine. See, we have finally reached the end. It only took 53 bloody minutes. What we're going to do now, though, just to prove it is working, when this loads up, we are going to log out of this account, the test account, and log into this account. Obviously, we don't need to do it here. Power. Yeah, we'll just shut it down because there's no point in keeping it up anymore. Okay. No, it's just, well, it'll take a few minutes because you are setting up a new server. You're setting up a new user account. That is standard Microsoft practice. There is script you can do from here. And we have now about your PC. Client Workshop, Windows 10 Pro, blah, blah, blah. What's the who am I code? List local users, create users, delete users, add admin. And this is my own portfolio. This is just a cheat sheet for system administration, mostly just the command prompt for the server. Service management, networking, file system, event logs, Active Directory, get query users, unblock account. Get local user. No. Active Directory, find ID, user, network config, DNS services, file operations. I mustn't have it in here. Anyway, not actually that important. So yeah, I don't think Who Am I works on the command prompt, does it? Yeah, workshop test. Yeah, it does work. I genuinely thought that was Linux only. I knew it was doing something. But yeah, you have now successfully set up an Active Directory, installed 3 different operating systems, 2 different operating systems, one a server, one a actual, what do you call it? Windows install lewis at workshop.lab. Password. Okay. PSWORD 321 full stop. Okay. But I want to show you something before I go, and this is quite normal for working in IT, working in support. This is where you're going to have to get used to. Okay. If you happen to, forget certain things, where does it go to? I am blind as a bat. I'm so flippin' tired. Manage. Oh, I'm so bloody dumb. So I am today. Right now, I want to launch Active Directory dsa.msc. Jesus Christ. So basically, I see Lewis is logged in here now. It means he can use it. Just say you forget the password, which is going to happen. What you want to do, and this is actually one of the most common tasks you will do in IT support, okay? When you've already set up, you find the user. Obviously, there'll be more users, there'll be more control, there'll be more groups. You right click, reset password, new password, give them a password, 1, 2, 3, full stop, password, 1, 2, 3, full stop. User must change it. And then we will try log on to Lewis with the password 321. That's incorrect. Password 1, 2, 3, full stop. User must change his password. Password 321 full stop. I'm not sure if I can still use this password. Yeah, okay, because I've had it before. So password 1, 2, 3 full stop. Password 1995 full stop. Password 1995 full stop. I'm born in 95, so password's been changed. So basically, what you did there is actually installed 2 instances of Windows 10 on virtual machine. You've also installed Windows 2019 Server, and you also have created a group, like a Active Directory and a work group, and you've learned a lot. You've also changed IP addresses. Not sure if I'll do that in the next video. There will be another video on changing IP addresses and dynamically doing it. And you've set up an Active Directory and 2 user accounts, and actually also reset the password. So now you're qualified almost to pretty much do tier 1 tech support. There's more to it, obviously, but that's the basics of it. So yeah, I hope you actually enjoyed that video. It was a very, very, very long one, which I apologize for. However, I don't either. It is a very useful video, and again, it was an hour long. Probably could have cut it down a lot, but I wanted to do everything in the one go, and now I'm kind of padding it until 1 hour. But yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you actually learned something there. Check out, I will have the link to that markdown file in the description. If you're looking at this on my portfolio, I do not actually have a place for those pages just yet, except on my GitHub. But I'll figure it out. Just go onto YouTube and do it that way. So thank you for watching. I hope you actually learned something, and peace. Good luck.